Vijay Squad, welcome back to Vanakkam, Germany. Today I have some very important news for you. A new coalition agreement has been formed for Germany in 2025.
Ein sehr starkes und klares Signal an die Bürgerinnen.
Made in Germany braucht Investitionen.
Die künftige Koalition wird reformieren und investieren, um Deutschland stabil zu halten.
Mehr Leistung und Kraft für Wirtschaft durch weniger Steuern.
CDU, CSU and SPD, the big political parties, have decided to work together and share their plans for the country. Let's break it down simply so you understand what changes are coming. Before that, if you are new to this channel, myself Priya, I make videos about rules and regulation and life in Germany. I also provide consultation on various topics. If you need support, feel free to book an appointment. The appointment link given in the description. Without further delay, come let's get started. This video is sponsored by Either Namma Life podcast. Life doesn't come with a manual, but sometimes all we need is one voice to remind us that we are not alone. That's why I started my Tamil podcast, Either Namma Life, exclusively for Tamil listeners. It's a space where I talk openly about self-doubt, struggles, dreams, motivation, mindset, and a whole lot of our feeling. It's available on Spotify and also in Amazon Music. Just search for Either Namma Life. I will also add the link in the comment section because in the end, it's just not my story, it's our life, Either Namma Life. Tune into Spotify and Amazon Music. Back to the topic. 45 days after the federal election, the CDU, CSU and SPD have agreed on the coalition agreement entitled as a signal of new beginning for Germany. So, we have a strong plan before us with which we can jointly move our country forward again. So, they have released a 144-page of a document. We have picked a very specific points which is helpful for our audience. So, I will explain you in detail in this video. First, when will the new chancellor be elected? The new federal chancellor, most likely CDU leader Mr. Merz, will be elected in the first week of May 2025. An exact date has not yet been announced. First, the decision-making process in the parties must be awaited. In the CDU, a small party conference will be consulted. In the CSU, the executive committee will decide, and in the SPD, the members will vote. The latter will take at least 10 days to finalize it. Coming to the key points, taxes and finances. Good news for small and middle income families. Income tax will be reduced to reduce the financial burden on these households and strengthen the purchasing power. But not immediately, it may take 2 years. Secondly, the solidarity surcharge will remain as before for high-income citizens and companies. CDU and CSU would like to abolish this tax, but due to the court ruling, the solidarity surcharge will remain at least for the coming years. Coming to the corporate tax. The corporate tax rate will be reduced in 5 steps starting January 1, 2028. This is also intended to increase the competitiveness of companies and encourage investment. The exact numbers for the above topics are not yet published yet, but there is a plan. So next, coming to the value-added taxes for the restaurant. The VAT on food sold in restaurant will be permanently reduced to 7%. This was introduced during the Corona period and later the VAT was increased and now this will be permanently reduced to 7%. This is a good news for people who visit restaurant regularly. Next, child tax allowance. If the child tax allowance is increased, the child benefits will be adjusted accordingly to provide the financial relief for families. And the tax allowance for single parents will be increased to support this particular group. Next is about the Pendlerpauschale. In English, it's called as Commuter allowance. Starting from 2026, the commuter allowance will be 38 cents from the first kilometer. Currently, the allowance for the first 20 kilometer from home to work is 30 cents per kilometer. Only after the 21st kilometer can allowance be increased to 38 cents. For the people who travel long distance to work, can get benefit out of it. Is about the tax incentives for overtime. People who do overtime should be encouraged with tax incentives. The coalition agreement states those who voluntarily want to work more should receive more netto from their gross. This should apply to overtime that exceeds normal full-time work. If you are working for 35 hours contract, then any work above this should be considered overtime. This measure is intended to help combat of the shortage of skilled workers. Additionally, those who reach statutory retirement age of 67 and continue to work voluntarily will receive their salary of up to €2,000 per month, and that is tax-free. Coming to the next point, it's a pension, the retirement saving account for children and young people. In 2026, a so-called early start pension is also to be introduced. For early child between the age of 6 and 18 who attends a school or other educational institution in Germany, €10 per month will be paid into the retirement savings account. After 18 years of age, one can contribute privately into this account. The returns from the account will be tax-free until retirement. However, the money will not be paid until retirement age. If you people wanted to know more in detail about this topic, please leave a comment. I will make a separate video how this is work out. Next is about the Mutter Rente, mother's pension. Mothers who were in the Eltern side won't be contributing any amount into pension system, and they are eligible to receive 3 Rentenpunkte. Earlier, it was possible only for the kids born after 1992, and now this is applicable regardless of the year of the birth of the child. Next is about the work and wages. The current 8 hours workday might be changed to more flexible weekly hours. Discussions are going on. They are planning to increase minimum wages to €15 per hour from next year. Next point is about the parental allowance to be significantly increased. Future parents can hope for higher parental allowance. The CDU, CSU and SPD have agreed in coalition negotiation to increase the amount significantly. The parties must still approve the agreements in the coming weeks. According to the agreement, both the minimum allowance, currently €300, and the maximum allowance, currently €1,800, are to be increased. The amount of the increase in the future remained unclear at first. For self-employed person, we will make the calculation basis for parental allowance more flexible. Our goal is consistent end-to-end digitalization of parental allowance. It's about the energy policy. According to the coalition agreement, the CDU, CSU and SPD want to ease the burden on energy-intensive companies with the industrial electricity price. Electricity tax and grid charges will be lowered about 5 cents less per kilowatt. Building Energy Act will be made more flexible and easier to follow. Next is about the citizenship. Einbürgerung. The previous traffic light coalition had shortened the waiting time for obtaining a German passport. The new government wants to reverse the part of the naturalization reform. They decided no more fast-track citizenship in 3 years. The rule will be removed, but you can still apply citizenship after 5 years of living in Germany. It's about the Deutschland Ticket, a good news for all of us. The Deutschland Ticket will be still continued and available. However, the price could rise from 2029. It currently costs €58 per month. In order to ensure planning security for customers for the ticket, the federal and state government will split the cost, but full funding is still under discussion. Next is about the military service. The coalition partners want to introduce a new military service that is initially based on voluntary service. The Swedish model would serve as a model here. According to the agreement, the conditions for military registrations and monitoring are to be created this year. Few more updates like Bürgergeld and the investment on defense system, but I think this is not relatable for our audience. So if you want to know more in detail about all those topics, you can also leave a comment. I will make a separate video or I will give the update in the comment section. So, VG Squads, These are the big decisions from Germany's new coalition agreement. Do you think these changes will help people living in Germany, especially as immigrants? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Vanakkam Germany channel for more updates like this. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye from Vanakkam Germany, Priya.